Okay, Virgo. So I sat with these cards for a few minutes, kind of looked through them, got a feel of the story. Before I get here to the Chariot, I just want to point out quickly the Queen of Coins reversed versus the Empress. Both of these are you. Okay, I strongly feel that. There's a strong need to be grounded. Okay, so focus on your root chakra. If you do meditation, chakra meditations, okay, focus on your root. Probably a good idea to be saving money right now so that you feel secure, those kinds of things, okay, root chakra kind of activities. You can Google that. But I also feel like there's a teeter-totter effect going on, and in a way you're kind of trying to figure it out, King of Swords. You're trying to figure out, are you the Queen of Coins reversed, or are you really the Empress? And what do I really deserve versus what can I get away with? What's really rightfully mine versus can I have absolutely everything that I want? And, you know, there's a real question of like, do you really deserve that super high level goal? Of course the answer is yes. Of course the answer is yes. And I think you're taking yourself higher and higher and higher in your vibration, you're expanding, you're more grateful than ever, you're more passionate than ever, and yet somehow there is still fear present. Like this card seems really out of place to me. But now I'm like, okay, well, yeah, because you're afraid to see what you really are, and you're afraid to turn out or turn down or turn away from a high quality potential. You know, like in a company scenario, this is the 6-digit, super high paying corner office with a window overlooking the city type of job, but maybe at a company whose morals or ethics are not necessarily totally in line with yours. And this is like, do I just take it because it's like what it is? Or do I hold out for working at a company that's perfectly in line? It's not a bad thing to ask for the perfect thing. It's not. I don't want to see you sacrificing things right now for a King of Cups, because a King of Cups can be so great and also so challenging. And I see him reversed here, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I just wanted to like talk about the weighing this out, because when I come down here to the Chariot card, this Chariot is not coming easy. Remember how I said that? I said it's going to be slow. It's going to be like one brick at a time. And here we have boom, boom, boom. 3 major arcana cards reversed. And then we have strength. We have the devil over here. So hold on. The Chariot is going to make you work for it. And when I say work for it, I don't mean go into the office. I mean your heart space, your solar plexus, your energy. It's going to make you stay consistent. It's going to make you tap into your conviction. It's going to make you demand that you get this 10 of Cups. And that takes a lot of strength, because the King of Cups is a real temptation. It is. It's a real temptation because it is good. But it's not perfect. And again, I know that no body is perfect, that nothing is perfect, okay? But I'm using that word because I think you know what I mean. Like when the pieces of the puzzle just fit perfectly, when 2 things click together and there's no effort. There's too much effort with both of these things, or both of these people, or whatever, or this one person, okay? There's too much effort. It's too hard. And I know that like some of you who may be, you know, married, and you're like, yeah, but we have a bump in the road and we're trying to work through it, and this and this and this and this. The answer there is surrender, which is one of the scariest things, right? To be willing to let something go. I'm not saying you're going to get a divorce, but I'm saying that if you stop trying so hard, trying to change the other person, and maybe even stop trying to change yourself and just let life carry you through, that's when you're going to start seeing the improvements. And it's hard. Like I said, the Chariot is going to make you work for it. It's going to kind of throw you about a little bit. Okay, Hermit reversed is a process. The Hermit reverse can be very dark, meaning like the abyss that the Buddhists talk about, you know, being sucked back into the void. This is the thing of like someone actually being sucked back into the void in order to gain perspective. And that happens through meditation, and that can happen spontaneously, like when you're driving to work someday and all of a sudden you're like, your consciousness is like farther away than the moon, and you're looking down on the earth and you're like, this is all just so insignificant. You know, I've been studying the Bible a little bit and some other of the religious texts. And one of the phrases, and I think it's Ecclesiastics, the Hebrew translation, there's a verse in there that's like, Hevel, Hevel, everything is merely Hevel, or something like that. And the word Hevel is like when it's really cold outside and you breathe and you can see the vapor of your breath. It's like vapor. Everything is merely vapor. It's an illusion, okay? And I feel like that's what the Hermit is trying to get you to see. That all of this kind of stuff is just Hevel, okay? And it does take strength to do that, especially for an earth sign who is very, you know, focused on the material. That's in your coding. It's a part of why you're here, to experience earth, right? And you are going to be asked to let the scales of justice get out of balance. Even though here we are in Libra season, and I'm telling you, nope, you got to be out of balance. Something unfair has to happen, you know? And I think it does. You kind of need to lose sight of the short term and focus very specifically on the long term. The end game. It's not about the mundane day-to-day kind of stuff right now. It just can't be. It can't be. Other people, yeah. Other signs, yeah. Okay, fine. But if you're so focused on the day-to-day and the mundane things that have to happen, and the expectations that you have of people, it's going to be like day-to-day of like, oh man, really? Maybe some disappointment in there, you know? So it's going to take strength and it's going to take work, spiritual work, okay? See yourself as the empress that you actually are. I think this person sees you as an empress. In a weird way, like this person, they see you, but because they're not like interacting with you, or they're not with you or communicating with you in a real way, it's like, that's when you question, well, am I an empress or not? Because the idea of who you are is a little bit too much based on what they think of you and what this person thinks of you. You have to release that strength. Chariot. Release. Release the perception of a perception. Okay? Because they see this. I think most people see this. This is obvious. You look at a Virgo and they're like freaking Energizer bunnies, going, doing. So much creation, so many things happening, and like, how could you be anything else? Why do I feel like of all the, you know, maybe small talk that could be happening with the King of Cups right now, and, you know, a lot of the kind of little back and forth, this Judgment card tells me that there's going to come a time, a moment, maybe later on, maybe in Scorpio season, this Judgment is really going to hit, where there's going to be a moment where it all just kind of comes out. And it is brutal, and it is honest, and it is so liberating. And it's like that kind of conversation that's going to give you the kind of rest that you're really needing. I don't like how this King of Cups really makes you feel, how the King of Cups is kind of connected with the Ten of Cups here and the Two of Cups. There's a lot dependent on this thing or person. and it's just a little bit too stressful. But once judgment hits, that is when you find yourself at peace. That's when you find yourself, you know, chill and not trying so hard, okay? This is going to be a good time for analyzing options. Next couple of months, analyzing options. Do you want to move? Do you want to get married? Do you want to stay? And that's the thing is, Virgo, you have to ask yourself what you want. Seven of Coins. What do you want? And that can be a hard question to answer a lot of times, because sometimes it's like, yeah, but it's not what I should do. There's a lot of shoulding going on, and we should all over ourselves all the time, you know? But it's time to stop shoulding yourself and start saying, you know, what is my heart really saying? And I like this for this kind of a self-conversation, because this gives you the clarity that you need. It gives you the insight and the inventiveness and the creativeness that you're gonna need. The Page of Swords reversed says probably not a good idea to be talking about this with too many people, okay? Because when you start doing that, then you get into that whole same game where this is what they think you should do. And while that can be a good exercise to do, you know, to kind of feel things out, not right now, just simply not the time. Unless it's an absolutely really, really close confidant, someone that you know will be honest with you, that's okay, but still be careful, because I think there's a quality of impressionability with the fear card here. If there's any fear whatsoever, then you are more likely to gravitate towards something that is safe. Can we talk about safety with the Eight of Cups coming out? Look, the Chariot is trying to get you to move. It's trying to get you to go into that dark space, right? The Hermit reverse there. It wants that from you. It's your soul. This is your higher self, by the way, just so you know. This isn't like an outside force. It's you. And it wants you to break the pattern. It wants you to stop cycling. It wants you to stop reincarnating with the same problems or the same issues or the same karmic relationships, right? It wants you to be free. And yet the temptation, and this is a real temptation. For some reason, it's like, is it the King of Cups? Is it the Knight of Swords? Is it someone else? You know, like I said, third house activity for you with the Scorpio season stuff. So there could be a lot of people involved. Third house is a highly social sign. Third house is a highly social house. Libra, which we're in right now, is a highly social sign. Okay, so, and Mars is in Libra for the next couple of months. And you know, so there could be multiple players. This one is one that you know you shouldn't entertain, an idea you know you shouldn't go for. You know it and I know it and I know that you know it, okay? And yet still the temptation is very real, right? You're still looking, you're running in one direction and looking back, and you're trying to get away from those patterns, because I think that's what this particular individual truly represents, is your pattern, because it came out with the Five of Swords. The pattern that must be broken. I see you succeeding in that, by the way, just FYI. I see you succeeding, Six of Wands. But it's the power of the King of Swords that makes that possible. Like, thank your lucky stars for this energy this month, because you do have to do the very Libra kind of thing. I know this is an Aquarian energy, but it's Libra season, Mars in Libra. So you're going to have to do the very Libran kind of cut it off kind of deal. And you're probably going to have to go cold turkey, and it's probably going to be a little bit sad, you know. I think it can be sad because the Knight of Wands represents something for you. It represents a past something, okay? Now, this Knight of Swords is so weird. How is this person connected to the King of Cups? It can be the same person, of course, and this is the high-level talk that I'm talking about. It's just that Knight of Swords or King of Cups, both, they just simply both don't really fit the bill, do they? Knight of Wands definitely doesn't, but neither the Knight of Swords or the King of Cups fit the bill. And both of them are going through a major transformation. I'm not saying that you're cutting these people off entirely, but whatever it is you've invested in these situations in the past, that well is going to dry up real fast, much to the chagrin of these people. And I don't think they realize what it feels like when a Virgo dries up the well, okay? Because they've maybe been drinking from the well for a little bit too long, and they've gotten a little too comfortable with the Virgo well, and they're going to feel it. Right? They can't not feel the death energy too. This is not just you. This is everyone involved. They can't just not feel it. Not possible. They're going to feel the absence of Virgo real quick. But see, the moon reversed. I think there is something going on, especially with the King of Cups and also behind the facade of the Knight of Swords. This goes a lot deeper. Right? This goes a lot deeper than just the surface level stuff. That's the whole thing. And what's behind the Knight of Swords is, I don't know, there's a manipulative quality when the King of Cups comes out reversed. And this tells me, like, there's a reason for you to be protective. There's a reason for you to guard against those energy. Your intuition is going to be on fire when this kind of situation starts to really unfold. For some of you, it might not be like so obvious what this is. I'm kind of getting the feeling that a lot of Virgos have been, like I said, very aloof, very much in their homes a lot, really focusing on themselves. So you might not necessarily have this activity going on right now, but I don't know, it's going to start coming in later on in October, right, as we enter into Scorpio season. So if you don't know what I'm talking about now, just wait for a couple months and just see how it pans out, because I think it's an inevitability, you know. Now, this Eight of Wands, it is causing so much disruption. So while it might be distance from a person, it could also be your energy, your traveling, your exploration. And I think this is something worth being passionate about. If you have things going on at work that are forcing you to move around a lot, if you have, you know, a vacation planned or something, there's something golden in there, and it's worth making happen at this time. In terms of the communication, right, the deluge of communication, it's probably, you know, there's 2 5s, right? 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, and it's probably going to be a little frustrated. I don't necessarily know that everyone is on the same level of awareness as a King of Swords, and especially not the Knight of Swords. So there might be an exchange of words, or there might be an argument of some kind. Some people really might not like that that Virgo is doing what they do, doing what they are doing. Why the Tower? Your movement, your words, your options are creating a disruption in the Maya, okay? And these people, or this person, they're also operating in illusion, okay? So when one person breaks out of that, when they transcend the matrix, okay, people feel it. There are direct effects, and I think that's what this is. More so, I feel that this applies to other people than it applies to you, Virgo. The only thing that's really for you is this Queen of Coins versus the Empress, you know? Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to make sure. I was like, did I talk about this pile or not? This is really the main focus for you at this time. and your vision. The way that your energy shifts, break the illusion for other people, is none of your business, Virgo. It is not your responsibility. You cannot be held liable for how other people perceive you, okay? Oh man, I just want to see you doing magic. That's what I want to see you doing. I want to see you doing the manifestations, doing the meditations, and really starting to envision and act as if your desired future is already a reality. This is so glorious, okay? And just know that maybe these people just aren't the right people, okay? And that's okay. But keep the vision strong. Keep the vision powerful and potent and at the front of your mind. And, you know, I just want to see it magical. With the Six of Cups, I often see a connection with childhood, and it's so playful, and it is so illogical, you know. And I want to see you indulging in a lack of logic when you're thinking about your future, okay? If you want the island with the castle on it, start envisioning yourself on the island with the castle on it, okay? Even if it's like millions and millions of dollars that you don't have, start visualizing it, because I think, especially right now, with the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto thing, and the eclipse is coming up, the destruction of all the fears is happening. So you can preempt it and just say, you know what, I'm just going to crash my own fears down right now. I'm just going to get my fears off their golden pedestals right now and just start replacing them with dreams. Because you can simply replace fears with dreams. That's just a matter of shifting consciousness. Okay? Because I think the universe is feeling very generous toward Virgo right now. Right? The universe is feeling generous. It wants to give you because it wants you to align. If you ask the universe to align you, it will align you. You don't need to be disrupted by all this nonsense, okay? And that's kind of what I think this stuff is it's just not good enough. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to describe it. It just doesn't seem to be good enough. The fact that this person's back is turned toward you, the fact that this person is so desperately trying to see you, but also not really offering a lot either, you know, it's just like, where do you draw the line, Virgo? You know, where do you draw the line? And as you move forward, right, 5 of Coins, see, the Emperor, I think, is the ideal. I think that's the part of the 10 of Cups that's here. And you can tell, like, by comparison, like these people or this thing, it pales in comparison. Because what you're holding out for is an honest, warm-hearted, but also strong, not, you know, wimpy, but someone who is powerful in their own right power, someone who matches your power as well, who is self-sustaining, who doesn't need anything from you, who, like I said, remember, this person doesn't have a lot of stars on their team. This person has a lot of stars on their team. So by being on their team, you will shine and sparkle even brighter. Because that's what happens when you associate with people who are of that caliber. You know, this is like the law firm that has the stars of the industry in your city, right? That kind of deal. The best of the best, the cream of the crop. And that's where you belong. That's where you belong. The Emperor is a notch higher than both of these because this is a trump card. And that's why the Empress is here. And maybe on some level, this particular individual knows that there's a mismatch. They know that this Emperor energy is out there for you. They know. And they know that maybe they aren't quite suited. I'm going to clarify this 2 of Cups reversed. I was looking at that when I pulled it out in the generals. I was like, I'll just see how the story evolves, but I did want to maybe pull out one more for the Two of Cups. Why is the Two of Cups reversed here? What I think you're wanting right now, Virgo, is safety. You're wanting the safety, because I don't think you feel totally safe with either one of these energies. Not with someone's back turned to you, not with someone so desperate. You want someone that, you know, invites you in their energy and just lets you be. Your heart might be a little bit closed right now, Virgo. You might not necessarily be as available as you think that you are. On one hand, you may be telling yourself, yes, universe, I'm ready for this, I'm ready. But fear. This is the first thing that needs to get checked at the door, okay? The fear. Can we just look at how there's like the Garden of Eden on one side and there's the desolate desert with nothing but skeletons and death on the other, right? You're kind of trapped between two worlds. This right here is the epitome of the Queen of Coins reversed with the Empress, right? This is the balance going on. Here's kind of the, you know, where you may feel like you are or questioning what you really deserve. And then here's the thing of what you actually really do deserve. And you may be having a hard time coming to accept that you actually do deserve it. Okay? You know, the Emperor is so strong and he respects people so much, and I think he'll respect you. And again, if it's a company owner or a lover, irrelevant. It's someone that looks at you and sees your value, but lets you just be in your value, who doesn't try to take anything from you at all. Okay, so this can be a very unnerving kind of connection for someone who might be used to this kind of behavior and this kind of behavior, because, you know, it's like you may question the validity. You may question, like, is this person for real? And you may, you know, it's just very uncomfortable because it's not normal, but it's exceptionally healthy. All right? It is, it's very healthy. Here's the Queen of Swords, right? What I was saying, Mars and Libra, like being able to really cut things off. Even if it's a high quality potential and something that in the past you may have felt very comfortable waiting for. Like, I think you guys know what this is, and you know that maybe you've held out a little bit too long for that particular thing to pan out. And when I'm telling you all of this, it may actually cause a little bit of confusion, because you're like, yeah, but this Emperor is maybe nowhere in sight. This Ten of Cups is so far away. I don't know how to approach this. I don't, you know, whatever. Seven of Cups, it's hevel, right? It's the illusion. It's the almost like the meaninglessness of the details at this time. When you take the details away from Virgo, sometimes they can be really shaken. Try to get Virgo to think, you know, at the 10,000 foot perspective, can be challenged, but that's what you're needing to do right now. Very air-like thought processes. Okay, very air-like thought processes. The message of when you come back. It's like you go and then you come back for some reason. So whenever you come back, this Seven of Coins feeling of like, is it enough? You know, really looking at everything and all of this. That's when you're going to have clarity. When you come back, you're going to have the answers that you're wanting. Or at least you'll be a step closer. Remember how slowly evolving this Chariot energy is going to be? You'll at least be one step closer to this Ten of Cups, okay? The Queen of Swords is very deliberate. She likes to gather evidence. She likes to hear both sides of the arguments, right? So she's going to take her sweet time, and that's going to be beneficial for you and also everyone involved as well. So here we have the Ten of Cups with the Ten of Coins, you guys. Like I said, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to prove to yourself, right? When I say prove, it's not prove to God. It's not prove to your friends. It's prove to yourself that the Ten of Cups is actually really what you want. Because when you have fear like this, and you succumb to fear, what's really happening is you're telling the universe that you would rather have the thing that you're afraid of, or you would rather not have anything at all than the thing that you want, right? It's like which side of the scales are you going to fight for, okay? And I think that there is kind of an essence of picking sides. Normally I would like to say, go down the middle way, be in the center, be chill, be relaxed, be zen, whatever. But I don't know, this month I don't think that's what you need to do. I think you need to choose a side. Are you going to be afraid or not? Are you going to choose the desolate desert or the Garden of Eden style paradise, right? Like which one? Are you going to be the queen or are you going to be the empress? Which one? 10 of coins only happens when we achieve the 10 of cups, okay? The coins represent the physical manifestation when the head, the heart, and the will and the spirit are all aligned, okay? And the coins can then manifest. So your emotional state is, of course, we know that's where the magic really happens. Your emotional state needs to be focused on the ultimate desire, okay, which is not bad. It's not ego driven. It is soul level desire. It is your future self calling you. It is your higher self guiding you. And allow yourself to be pulled. But you have to feel like it's already in your life. Okay, it's super, super, super important. I think you're going to be hitting up against some pretty solidified beliefs when you do this. That's one of the things when people start doing affirmations that people talk about, right? Let's say, my perfect relationship is coming to me. Let's just choose a really generic affirmation that I don't recommend you use, but just for example purposes. My ideal relationship is now coming to me. Okay, so when someone starts saying these kinds of affirmations or starts thinking, they tend to look at the reality and be like, no, but it's not. But it's not. It's not coming. There's nothing here. And that's the devil, right? That's the demon. And that's you hitting up against that belief barrier that is so potent and so strong because it has been the narrative for so long. So when this Knight of Wands comes in, that I think is going to be the real test. Okay, and there could be a connection with these other two people, sure. But when this Knight of Wands comes in, it's going to be the real test. How much conviction do you have? The devil is here to teach you. It's not a bad card. Saturn is not a bad planet. It's not negative in any way, shape, or form. It is here to push us. It's here to prod us. It's here to poke us and to bother us and to test us and all of these things, right? So that we grow and evolve. It forces us to take our time, right? Chronos, the god of time. It forces us to act in wisdom. Okay? So the devil is a really, really, really good thing here because I think it's not going to be able to sustain. It's good because it's kind of a benchmark. It's a measurement. You're going to be able to measure how much progress you've made because when this comes crashing down, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm at the next level now, which you are, right, with the World card. Knight of Coins we know is your card, Virgo, being very in the Virgo element. This is very student-like, very service-oriented, very giving, has the essence of caution, but also being on a horse, there is capability of adaptability, all right? And quickly adapting to a new modus operandi. The High Priestess is our intuition. It's our peek behind the veil. I would not be surprised that if you engaged in heavy meditations right now, right, Four of Swords, I wouldn't be surprised that if you engaged in heavy meditations that you would have some profound visions. Mercury in Scorpio. I don't know what to tell you, right? Black Moon Lilith in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces still, and you've got Chiron in the 8th house. So I suspect there will be something profound that comes, that shows itself to you. And it will give you context. A peek behind the veil is always a nice healthy dose of a new perspective is always a good thing. Your intuition knows when this person comes back and tries to talk to you or whatever, your intuition's going to know. Your intuition already knows about this, and it already knows about this, and it already knows that this is in your future as well. Like, you know that this is going to happen. It's just hard to match your current present moment with a future possibility, right? In this quantum field of infinite possibilities. But like, pick one. If you're going to pick a future, pick the best one and just start focusing on that, right? So pay close attention to what your gut is telling you, because it is saying a lot. Don't be afraid to let something go, okay? Don't be afraid to stop trying to stuff someone into your ideal and just let the universe do the picking for you, because it's probably going to do a better job, okay? Okay, Virgo. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys so much. Have an excellent month. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care.